So today's class is starting an LLC for your real estate business. So today's LLC that you're going to start is specifically just for running your real estate commission income through, running your real estate business like a business, right? We've talked about this before. Once you hit a certain level of any level of income, but absolutely once you start to hit six figures, some people say 50,000, some people say zero right away. As soon as you start running commission income, you should be running your real estate like a business, right? The number one, well, there's a couple of reasons. One reason is limitation of liability, right? We all know that by opening an LLC, or maybe you don't know, but by opening an LLC and running everything through that LLC, you limit the financial liability of your business. Meaning, if something happens and you get sued personally, they can and you run everything through your LLC. Your commissions get paid to your LLC. Your business expenses are paid out of your LLC, and your LLC pays you. Anybody that sues you personally, in theory, right, can only go after the assets or income. Did you need, Mary, a packet? Oh, okay. The assets or income in your LLC, owned by your LLC, right? What does your LLC not own? Thank you. Your house? No, your car. I don't know. Maybe at some point it should, but your house, your investments, anything that you own personally under your name, right? Retirement accounts, savings or mutual funds, anything like that. If you own it, Amanda, do you mind shutting those doors for me? If you own something personally as an asset, or you have money set aside in savings, and you get sued and there's no LLC as a barrier, personally, they sue you personally. Maybe you're out showing houses and you get in a car accident and they see that you're a realtor or whatever, right? God forbid, please don't be driving your clients around in your car, right? If you have clients in your car and you get in a car accident and they get injured, they could sue you personally, right? So it's to protect your assets. It's to protect you from being sued and then being able to go after your personal stuff. So that's the number one reason to run an LLC. The number two reason to run an LLC and all your business through an LLC is because without one, you are leaving thousands to tens of thousands of dollars on the table for the IRS to take from you in tax deductions and write-offs. So that second document that I handed out to you, and good morning, Sherry, I see you online. Now, please, by no means, obviously, I am not an accountant. I am not a financial advisor or planner. So this is estimates, rough estimates, but it starts to give you an idea of some of the different things that as a person running a self-employed individual getting paid real estate commissions, a lot of these you cannot take as write-offs that you can take as an LLC, as a business. Okay. So and we all know one big beautiful bill and there's a whole lot of tax write-offs and deductions that have been allotted for businesses that individual taxpayers do not get to write off. So when I say you could be leaving anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 that you're paying to the IRS as an individual, running your taxes through your income through your own personal name, that is legit. Like, I'm not kidding you. So as a business, right now, as a person, what can you write off for your car as an individual getting paid real estate commission personally? Mileage, right? Mileage is the big one. As a business, as an LLC, put on your LLC hat, and the business can pay your car payment. And now your entire car payment becomes a tax deductible expense. I haven't paid a car payment personally in since maybe 2007. Let that sink in for a minute, guys. Personally, what does that mean when I want to go to qualify to buy a house? What does not count against me?
Yes.
My car payment. Because who pays my car payment? And I have proof. I have all the payments I can print out from my business that my business pays my car payments, not me personally. So it shows up on your credit, but when the lender asks you, or when you're talking to the lender, you're going to tell the lender, my business pays for my car. I do not personally pay for my car. Now, obviously it's the same income, right? So it impacts the amount of income that you're transferring over to yourself personally. But when they're looking at your DTI, it doesn't count against you. They wipe it from your DTI.
Does it need to be in the car? Does it need to be in the business's name?
No.
Or can you have it in your personal name, just the business? Okay.
Yep,
That's
can be in your own personal name. My car is in my personal name, but a benefit of the business working for the company that I work for, that I own, the company pays for the partner's vehicles. The company can pay. So then that benefit of an automobile through the LLC, the company pays your car insurance, the company pays your oil changes, the company card pays for your gas, everything, tires, everything for your vehicle, because it's a business vehicle, now becomes tax deductible. Everything.
How's the mileage part work? Like, is it in the business?
Mileage goes away. With the business, if the business is, you either get to, as a business owner, you either get to take mileage deduction or pay for the car payment. So if you don't have a car payment, then talk to your accountant, because then yes, you probably want to track your mileage and deduct, but no, I'm sorry. So if the business is buying your gas, meaning you have a business credit card or a business debit card, and the business is paying for your gas, you can't also deduct mileage. You either get mileage or gas. Does that make sense? That's where I was going with that. But you can get car payment, gas, oil changes, all the maintenance, auto insurance, all of that.
That's all written off.
All written off because the business pays for it. So it's a business expense. And then all of, everything, guys. I mean, look at this. You even get all of your education, obviously, your CE, your license renewals, all of your fees that you pay here, office supplies, right? Does your office need water? Does your office need coffee, creamer, sugar? Because you stock it as a business, as a company, right? Obviously paper, pens, planners, pad folios. You can't write off clothes. Clothes are not a business expense. So go in and get a really nice suit, the business can't buy you a suit. If it's uniforms, yes. What you can write off, marketing materials, dry cleaning, yes, I think you can do dry cleaning. Double check with your accountant on that. Advertising, marketing expenses, Bobby's golf shirt, Carrie's golf shirt, your jacket, your branded golf cart that you've wrapped. If you wrap your car, right? But you're already paying for your car as a car payment. But any attire that you buy that is branded. So if you buy a really nice Helly Hansen raincoat, navy blue, and you go and you get the Hyatt and Company logo added to it, now it's tax deductible because it's marketing. Make sense? So you have to start to think like a business person, a business owner. Things like healthcare costs. So your health insurance we talked about. Your business can pay for that. That becomes your business can pay for your health insurance. Your spouse's health insurance could possibly be a benefit. You can put your spouse on payroll for you and pay your spouse a salary. And then there's additional tax savings that come into play there as well. You could then also there's other, you can talk to your accountant about that. I don't want to get into too many details about that. You can put your kids on payroll if you have a payroll service.
It could be anybody. Family.
Yeah, anybody you put on payroll, but it can be your children, it can be your significant other, spouse, whatever. Cindy? Yes.
If your, if your health insurance is through your spouse's, workplace, but you know, they pay their employee portion, and your business reimburses for that employee portion, is that allowed?
Talk to your accountant. But if you're, talk to your accountant and see what they say, because I don't know the answer to that. I mean, your business can provide and pay us, like if you have an employee. So if your spouse would have to be an employee of the company, of the LLC, the business. And then you can pay your spouse salary or stipend. You could pay a stipend for health insurance. Like our company, we're too small to have a group health insurance policy. So our employees that need or want health insurance, we don't have a plan that we offer to them. We pay them a stipend, a monthly stipend through payroll to go towards their health insurance. Makes sense? But things like when you go to CVS and you buy medicine, over-the-counter medicines can be tax deductible. I don't know. It's part of the business code. It's part of the business tax code. But like, so a business can write off Tylenol, Advil, NyQuil, golf ball. Golf.
Right on.
I know, right? If it's branded to you,
Right.
that's what I was just gonna say. Jeff Choice just bought a whole bunch of branded golf balls and they were all tax deductible for advertising. So if you buy them and you put your little logo or you stamp a logo on them that you're in real estate, even your golf balls could be tax deductible. Right? Trevor's like,
I think that's
doing it.
That's right. If somebody's gonna find me.
Right? That's what Jeff said. I have a picture that Jeff sent me of his golf balls, branded golf balls. Your home office, hopefully you're already taking a home office deduction. That really doesn't change, that I know of. So, you guys can read through this, but this just goes over some of the different things that you can tax write off. As some of the benefits. And then the self-employment tax savings. So your accountant will elect you as an S-corp as your tax election. And as an S-corp, you get additional S-corp tax deductions just for filing as an S-corp. So it reduces your self-employment taxes from 15.3% to only the salary portion. So, and as it says, this is potentially the largest tax savings available. You take the remaining business income as distributions, subject to zero self-employment tax. Zero. Right now, as an individual collecting real estate commissions, you're paying 15.3% self-employment tax on your income. This reduces it to what? Zero. How many of you are kicking yourselves for not having done this sooner when I told you to? Trevor, I wasn't going to say your name.
You know why, this is a tangent. Why do they charge a self-employment tax?
I don't know.
Why is that even?
I don't know. Because the IRS sucks. And here's the thing, if you listen to, there's a lot of great books out there on tax savings and building wealth and keeping more of your money. Our federal tax code is written to help and promote small business, period. Our federal government wants to promote and protect small business. Donald Trump, whether you like him or hate him, I don't care. He is a businessman who built his wealth, unbelievable wealth, in real estate as a business owner, as a business professional. Everything he has put in place is to help, support, and promote. It is possible to zero out your tax dollars that you owe to the federal government if you know how to manage your money the right way as a business owner. So keep your money in your pocket. Hire a good accountant. Guys, I beg you, stop doing it yourselves. Hire a tax accountant that knows real estate taxes. I have one I can recommend to you if you want, but hire an accountant that knows real estate. Period. Because not all small businesses are alike, right? And they need to understand the real estate tax deductions and real estate tax codes. That saves you even more money. So here you go. As an S-corp, if you make a $50,000 salary, you pay, so you make $100,000 net income as a real estate professional. As an LLC, filing as an S-corp. This is what this means to you in your pocket. 50,000 of that you're going to take as a salary. And the salary, guys, is you want to pay yourselves still a salary, because right now as self-employed, what are you not contributing towards? Social Security, right? Do you want to retire one day? I do. Every real estate agent out there that is taking commissions as a self-employed individual and not paying themselves a salary is not contributing to Social Security. And I guarantee you, 80% of those same people at least are also not contributing towards what? 401k, self-directed, IRA, Roth, anything. That's why the joke is, how many real estate retirement parties are you invited to? And everybody laughs, 0, right? Why? Because realtors literally work until the day they die, because most of them don't run their business like a business. They don't manage their money. They don't set aside money to pay their taxes at the end of the year. And they certainly aren't setting aside money to make sure that they can retire one day. So you pay yourselves a salary that pays into all FICA, Medicare, Social Security, all of that. Then the rest of that $100,000 you're going to take as a distribution to yourself as an owner. It's like profit share, right? It's profit sharing, distribution of your profits. Because after the $50,000 salary, this is assuming you have no expenses, right? You're going to have expenses. So you're 100,000, but this is 100,000 net. So you've already taken out your expenses in theory. You've already paid those. Net is your profit. $50,000 salary, $50,000 distribution. You save, so you're going to pay $76.50 in self-employment tax on the $50,000. You're saving $7,650 in your pocket that you would have had to pay the IRS in taxes. This tax right now as Bobby Bush collecting real estate commission checks. Make sense? Some of this gets into the weeds, and you really don't need to worry too much about all of this. If you have a good accountant, they're going to help you with all of this. But it starts to talk about retirement. Yeah, Trev.
Talking about what you were saying, payroll to yourself?
That's the salary part. The 50,000 salary is where you would pay yourself on payroll. And then the $50,000 distribution, is just transferring money from, it's just straight money from your business account over to you personally, paying yourself that money as an owner as like profit, a profit distribution. You're welcome. Down here in the next page, and then we're jumping in. So if you have laptops or devices, have them out, because we're doing this today. Nobody's walking out of this room without their LLC set up. Good. That's fine. Retirement plan options. An LLC structure opens up tax advantage retirement savings with deductible contributions. So a solo 401k, you can contribute up to $69,000 annually as both an employer and an employee, and you can do a match. So you can do an employer match for yourself as the employee, which now becomes tax deductible also, which increases your contribution. Make sense? A SEP-IRA, you can contribute up to 25% of net self-employment income, max of $69,000. Simple IRA has lower contribution limits, but simpler administration. All these contributions are tax deductible, which reduces your taxable income. And you're putting that money away for yourself. Make sense? Liability, we talked about liability protection. You get personal asset protection from lawsuits and liability claims. You avoid corporate level taxation that corporations face. And you have to keep the lines clear. So business money goes into business account. Business expenses get paid for from the business account. There's something called piercing the veil, which means when you start to kind of intermingle too much, personal and business, that line gets blended, and you can lose some of this liability protection if you've pierced the veil of the corporate LLC protection. So I'll let you guys, I'm not going to get too much into that, but just know that you want to keep it as clean as you can. So it's not just opening an LLC, it's opening an LLC. We're going to create your EIN today. You apply for it, you have it right away. And then now with that and your LLC, once you get your articles accepted by Maryland State for your LLC, it takes about 7 to 10 days. You're going to go and open up a bank account, a business bank account, wherever you bank. And they can connect them so that it's easier to transfer money and pay yourself. Quarterly estimated tax payments. Whether you have an LLC or you're an individual person right now, you should be making quarterly estimated tax payments every quarter. And what that is you're prepaying next year's tax bill now, every quarter. So they're due April 15th, January 15th, April 15th, June 15th, April, May, June, July 15th, and October 15th. So what I do when I make those payments, I'm taking last year's tax bill, what I owed to the IRS last year, and you're dividing it by 4, and your accountant will do this for you, but you divide it by 4, and then you're paying that money to the IRS this year, each quarter in chunks, so that when I get to next year, next April, and I owe my taxes next April, I've already paid in all of that money, right? So if I make more money this year than what those estimated tax payments cover, that's all you owe. That's all you owe to the IRS is that additional money. When you don't make quarterly tax payments as a business person, guess what you owe the IRS? Fines, penalties for not having made quarterly payments. So you're not just paying your taxes on your income, you're paying your taxes on your income, plus a penalty, an interest, fine, whatever you want to call it, for every quarterly tax payment you missed the year before. My investors in the room, those of you that own rental properties, want to own rental properties, Airbnbs, whatever it is. One Big Beautiful Bill is my absolute favorite best friend. It's amazing. Because now you get to take accelerated depreciation for all of the costs and expenses for your qualified real estate investments year 1, the year that you purchase it. That is all of your down payment, your repairs. So if you have to buy one and you have to fix it up and renovate it or invest money into getting it ready, all of that, because we're real estate professionals, this is what we do full time. You invest, you do real estate over a certain number of hours a year in rental property management. All of that accelerated depreciation you now get to take in year 1. So in theory, you could now with the One Big Beautiful Bill, you could completely wipe your annual tax bill, what you owe, by buying one real estate investment property a year. And I know there's a lot of you in here that have goals of buying at least one real estate investment property a year. Imagine if now, by buying that one real estate investment property, you could possibly have a $0 tax bill. You're building your wealth, your income, your generational wealth, your investments, and you're wiping out what you owe to the IRS. It's unbelievable. Consult with an accountant before you go running out and buying a property because Tina said, I'm not going to have to pay a tax bill this year. No, I'm recording. Talk to your accountant, find out what you have to do, how it works, what you can deduct, all of that. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you guys are real estate professionals. So buying investment properties and you are a full-time manager of an investment property. There are so many more tax benefits to you for investing in real estate as a real estate professional. So I'm not going to go through all the rest of this because I want to, so here's deduct 100% of health insurance premiums paid for yourself, spouse, and dependents. So I just don't know how the reimbursement would work. Yeah, I would find that out. But if your spouse pays, and you got, this is where talking to an accountant is really important, right? Because if your spouse gets a stipend, but pays for their own health insurance outside of their company, and they get a stipend to do so in their payroll, chances are their payroll taxes are less on that money than your taxes on your self-employment income, right? Where it would make sense for you to possibly either reimburse them or pay for their health insurance through the company. Because your tax savings is bigger than what they're paying in taxes on their stipend. Does that make sense? Talk to your accountants. I don't know. That's where I would talk to an accountant because dual career, the hard part with dual career is some of these regulations, like the one big beautiful bill, you have to put in a certain amount of hours. You have to prove that you work a certain amount of hours in your real estate business. So if you're showing that you work 40 hours a week in a full-time job, there may be regulations or there may be different, I don't know that answer. So I would ask an accountant that answer. And that's coming out of your gross income. So it's reducing your gross income, right? And your taxable income. When you're paying for that out of your business account, it's reducing your taxable income by that amount. It allows you to clearly separate business and personal finances. We talked about that, right? The veil. You can better document your business expenses because if you're running everything through a business account, it's much easier to document than to go back at the end of the year and have to go back through all your receipts or everything that you've stockpiled, right? And figure out and calculate what was a business expense, what was a personal expense. And keep in mind, guys, as an LLC with a business account, business credit card, business debit card, whatever, when you go out to eat and you go out with a client or potential client, that now becomes tax deductible. That meal is tax deductible. So for those of you where clients have become friends, joy, right? Because now your meals with them, your meal becomes tax deductible. It's huge. Travel. When you travel, oh, this is my favorite one. When you travel for personal reasons, if you're an investor and you're constantly looking for Airbnb opportunities or long-term rental opportunities, if you go and you walk in an open house or you go to a builder model and you tour a builder model for a property, guess what your trip just became?
Business expense.
A business expense, tax deductible. Your personal vacation just became a business trip.
Prove that aside.
You're supposed to do, well, well, I would document. So I would get a copy of like the builder, take pictures Like I just did this, I was traveling a couple months ago and I went in a builder model. I stopped at 2 open houses. They were all in a little cluster together. It took me all of half an hour, maybe, on my long weekend trip. Took pictures of the open house ad that I had, file it on in your Google Drive under your travel expenses. The other thing you're supposed to do is when you're traveling for a business trip, you're supposed to be able to show that you put in X amount, and I don't know the amount of hours working on that trip. But guys, when you travel, I know each and every one of you in here is working while you're traveling anyway, right? You're up early in the morning, checking emails or responding or dealing with contract issues. You're taking phone calls. You're coordinating for your colleague to go show properties for you. You're working anyway. It's all the memes and jokes out there, right? Realtors on vacation. It's a guy in a suit on a surfboard with 2 phones in his ears, right? It's all of us. So you're working anyway. Make your personal vacations tax deductible. Make sense?
Now, other way, so I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The flight, the meals, the stay,
Talk to your accountant. But yeah, I mean,
they're not in account.
training right now from Palm Springs, California. Nice job, Joy. Yes, so certain ones. I mean, you want to be careful, right? You don't want to just start willy-nilly, like every meal is my business card. And I'll tell you too, meals are not 100% and entertainment are not 100% tax deductible. I think it's like 50%. Is it 50% tax deductible, your meal? So if your meal costs you $40, half of that is what you're going to be able to deduct as a tax deductible expense.
Every day. In the conference, you get the 100%, right?
Yes, because and if your business pays for your meals when you travel, then they're travel meals. So you'll have classifications, and I would recommend, and maybe I need to teach a QuickBooks class, but I would recommend having QuickBooks for yourself. Again, it's another tax deduction. It's an expense, but it links to your bank account. And then every expense that goes through your business bank account, you can file into an appropriate sub account. So meaning if I use my business card at Texas Roadhouse in South Carolina, I'm going to label that as a travel meal, different from my regular meal and entertainment folder. Make sense? So now when my accountant goes in there, because my accountant goes into my QuickBooks, pulls everything out of there, she runs all my reports, she's going to see for travel meals, I spent $5,000 this year. For regular client meals or meals and entertainment for clients, and that could be, and that's where you got to figure out marketing, you get 100% write-off. So a client appreciation event should be a marketing expense, not a meals and entertainment expense. Does that make sense? So yes, so you're going to want to differentiate between travel meals and regular everyday client meals. But Bobby, if your daughter's doing marketing work for you, photography work, whatever, and you take your daughter out to dinner, your entire check becomes tax deductible. Well, 50% in theory of your entire bill. You can pay for her meal because it's or maybe it's a marketing meeting. That's where you need to figure that out. Make sense?
Yeah.
And because when you go out to dinner, you're probably sitting there talking about stuff right? Like photography or this job, or hey, can you take my headshots? Or hey, I want to get on your calendar, or how's it going? Right? You can ask one question. You can say one question and your meal just became tax deductible. Yeah. Spouse? Yes. Yes. Now they're employees. And you can take your yes. Again, you don't want to make every single dinner where you go out with your spouse a tax under your business because if you get audited, you're going to have to justify all of that. But would I do a couple a month? Talk to your accountants. Talk to your accountants. That would be my answer for you. But these are the things, guys. These are where you're just leaving dollars, tons of dollars on the table, impossible write-offs. Trev, you went to a wedding recently for a past client, right? That became a friend. Did you have to travel for that? Okay, as an LLC, your business could have paid for all of that, and that entire trip becomes a client expense, a business expense. It's huge, right? The difference is huge at the end of the year. It's a pat, both, a potential client, like, if they've said to you, we want to sell our house, we're thinking about, yeah, eventually, Cindy, we're gonna sell our house and we will use you. And you go out to dinner with them,
But if somebody was your client,
it's a past client.
right, they became friends.
Are they in your database? Do you market to them? Yeah, it's a business expense. 100%.
So, quick plug, Unlocked is a great example of a
Of business,
travel
yeah.
expense that your business pays for if you want to come to Vegas to the Zillow
Yeah.
Unlocked conference, so really.
Everything,
we're
100%. Yeah, your hotel room, your airfare,
Yeah.
your car rental, your meals, your ticket purchase. And your ticket purchase is educational. That's an education expense. All of it. And then if your spouse is an employee of the company and your spouse wants to come on the trip with you, guess whose airline ticket is also a tax write-off? Because you're taking an employee. Talk to your accountant. No, I mean, I think right off as long as you're paying them something. So if they're helping you with marketing flyers, talk to your accountant. Talk to your accountant, because it depends on whether you want them. You can have them as a 1099 independent contractor. I think the only employees, W-2 employees, fall under the minimum wage law, but you also have to look at, do small businesses, do you have to have a certain amount of FTEs, full-time employees, to fall under and qualify under the federal or the state mandated minimum wage rule? Because there's different, as a small business owner with less than, it's usually like 50 full-time employees, FTEs, but an FTE counts as, it can be a part-time employee that works more than 24 hours a week, or an FTE could be the total of 2 part-time employees could equal 1 FTE. So I would say use AI, use Claude. Claude is your buddy, and he can give you, just don't rely on it as the gospel for tax code. So that's not gonna save you if you get audited, but you wanna save, you wanna be really clear with your documentation. Because if you get audited, and having an accountant, because if you work with a professional accountant and they do your taxes and your filing, they will handle your audit for you if you were to get audited. Dennis got audited out of the office. I'm not even gonna speak of him. Dennis got audited years ago, and it was excuse my language, it was a bitch. It was, I mean, he will tell you to this day, I think he still breaks into cold sweats and has nightmares about getting audited. But he had an accountant, so a lot of the accountant helped with a lot of it and handled a lot of it, but he had to go back in and document and have all of his logs of what he needed and all of his documentation and everything. So remember, IRS wants you to save documents for, is it 7 years, 5 years? Real estate commission's 1, IRS is the other. I can never keep, I think it's 7, IRS is, real estate commission is 5. Mary.
You have to, pretty much show all of your business expense deductions, like through that business account too.
Yes, you should. Yes. If you were to get audited, yes, they could expect it. And that's why QuickBooks is so great. But you can even get audited as an individual. So keep that in mind. So like back in the day when Jim was running a team and before we actually had a business and everything, he kept those accordion file boxes. He would have one for every year. And in there, it was all sorted: automobile, health, marketing, meals, travel, entertainment, office supplies, like all the deductible categories were separated and everything. He had receipts for everything. Nowadays, you've got all these great like receipt capture apps and different apps that you can store all that and classify it all for you. So it depends on what you want to use. I'm a big fan of QuickBooks. I think it's the easiest one.
90% off,
QuickBooks is
90% off for 3 months. I'm signing up right.
QuickBooks Online. So you want the online version. That's pretty awesome. I just signed up for it for another one of my LLCs a month ago and I didn't get 90% off.
Yeah, all 90% off.
Yeah. I think it's,
This one, so it's originally for the simple start,
Yeah.
$38 a month. Right now it's $380 a month.
Wait,
And then I added
$380.
workforce, $3.80.
I was like 380. I'm like, wait a minute, that's that math isn't mathing. Yeah. And then it goes to $38 a month.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. And you guys only need the basic plan, the simple start. Like you don't need the full version, and you can still give your accountant access and they can log in under an accountant's view, accountants log in to the back end and they can see all of your accounting and your stuff and everything also. I'll do this. I'll put a QuickBooks training on the calendar for September, to help teach it if you guys are interested in that, but.
Talk about the startup, like any balance and stuff, like, even if you may have been a real estate agent for some time, the LLC is new, the bank account is new, less than a year old, so when you
Yeah.
want to QuickBooks and they ask for your opening balance, is it the opening balance of the bank account?
The bank
Can you
account.
cover that in the class?
I can teach, yeah. So when you start an LLC, and we'll get it, it goes more than what we were gonna do today, but when you start an LLC, when you go open your bank account, you're going to need to fund it, right? You're gonna need to put startup funds in there. Depending on where you start up, it could be $50, it could be $500 based on the account that you start up and to avoid the fees, right? You wanna avoid monthly fees, but you individually are the owner of your LLC, right? You're the business owner. You're the CEO and owner of your LLC. So when you start a company, you have to fund it with some seed money, right? So that's your starting balance. Whatever you're funding it as your seed money. It could be $1,000, it could be $500, it could be $100. But that's your starting balance. That's your opening balance.
Family, as employees or 1099s, contractors, whoever. So that means for the IRS purposes, you have to have a legitimate payroll service, like an ADP or something.
Not necessarily, so that's only if they're W-2. If they're if you're gonna pay yourself a salary, yes, because part of your income will be paid through salary, where you'll get a W-2 at the end of the year for taxes. And then the distribution will be, it's called a K-1. And your account, this is why you guys, your accountant, you need an accountant, because a lot of you in here probably, I don't even know how to create a K-1 for myself, for my business, but your profit share, your distribution comes through as a K-1. Your salary portion that you pay yourself through a salary service, I use ADP, the fees are nominal, it's very inexpensive, especially for one employee or two employees or even four employees. Like I think we've got 6 on there and it's very small. They file your quarterly returns for you, your unemployment returns, they file your, they pay your FICA, they pay off to Medicare, they do all of that for you. And then at the end of the year, they issue all of your W-2s and mail them out to all of your employees. So it makes it a lot easier to have if you're gonna pay on payroll, W-2, you're gonna need a service. If you're doing 1099, you don't need a service because you're just gonna pay them and you're gonna 1099 them at the end of the year for that money.
So this makes sense. If your business, if your LLC runs out of money, can you personally fund it?
Yes.
For these payrolls without any kind of penalty or anything?
Yes, ask your accountant, but yes, so if you think big companies, like if we had a big company and there were like 4 owners and the company is struggling financially and it goes not profitable for a few months, that company still has expenses. So if it runs out of reserves, The operating agreement for that company stipulates that when the company needs funding, all the owners, depending on their percentage of ownership, have to contribute that much money to cover the expenses. So it's called a cash call. So if a big company or a company like ours or any other company, if they go into the red and they don't have profits coming in to pay their expenses, they're going to do a cash call from all owners. If we had 4 owners and the owners were 30, 30, 20, and 20, and we do $100,000 cash call, that means the 30% owners putting in $30,000, $30,000, $20,000, $20,000. So as an owner, if you're the 100% owner of your own sole proprietor LLC and your company is in the red and you need to pay expenses, you can do a cash call to yourself, but talk to your accountants. Okay? I'm not an accountant. You just want to make sure you ask your accountant, how do I fund my LLC until I have regular income flowing into there without piercing that veil? Without crossing that, it's called piercing that veil between corporate and personal. The QBI. So the QBI deduction is another really cool one under current tax law. And I'm pretty sure QBI is another one big, beautiful bill. Self-employed individuals operating through an LLC may qualify for a 20% deduction on qualified business income, potentially reducing your taxable income by up to 20%. QBI, something else right now that all my individuals in the room are not benefiting from. Talk to your accountant about QBI.
What's qualified?
It's under the one big beautiful bill, and it's certain income expenses, certain income, business income, qualified business. So as a realtor, real estate income, because you're a real estate professional, is QBI, qualified business income. It could potentially make rental income QBI. Did it go down? But then I think but then didn't it get wiped out and he brought it back?
That's how I found out.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and yes, we'll just go back there. So yes, so basically those are, and up here it talks about, demonstrate to the IRS that you're running a legitimate business. This is not a hobby. Kwajalein, that's where you need to have a conversation with an accountant about, because a lot of times dual career agents don't necessarily get to benefit from the same level of deductions and qualified business income deductions because the IRS looks at it as a hobby when you have another full-time job. So that's where you just want to talk to your accountant, and your accountant will help with that. Okay. So let's jump in now to starting an LLC. This part is the fastest part. I just wanted to kind of lay out all the benefits of it. So how to start an LLC. What I want you guys to do is open up on your computers. You're going to go to businessexpress.maryland.gov. And it looks like this. You're going to go to start. And you're going to click on register your business in Maryland. So the first thing, and we're just going to create a login. But the first thing you guys all need to write down, if you don't already have it, is what is the name of your LLC? This is not going to be used for marketing. Really, this is not ever going to be seen anywhere. So even if you're like, well, Tina, I eventually want to start a team, does this need to be no, this does not need to be your team name. This is just your LLC name, period. I'll give you a little, for your real estate income, it does not matter. Anonymity doesn't matter because you are the realtor. You're acting as the realtor. Everybody knows you're the realtor. Your LLC, you're not hiding behind an LLC for anonymity. When you're investing and you're buying investment properties, 100% that LLC should not be tied to your name You should not be the registered agent. Nobody that you know or share a last name with should be your registered agent. You are using your LLC when you're investing for anonymity. You are 100% trying to hide behind your LLC for protection. Do not, well, for real estate, you can. This doesn't, I don't care. So if you want to be, whatever, Bobby Bush LLC, I don't care. You shouldn't use realty. You shouldn't use realty group. Like, you don't want it to sound like a real estate brokerage. You can't use the word insurance group. You can't use, there's certain words that you can't use. And I think it's in my, so just pick a name. You don't need a trade name. Nope, you don't even need a trade name. You only need a trade name. I mean, you don't even need a trade name when you're running a team, a real estate team. Like, your team name is not a trade name for your LLC. They're completely disconnected. It's just for marketing. The team name, like the Page Home Group, is just for marketing, real estate marketing purposes. It's not a business. Now, if, God forbid, I'm going to use the Strauss Group because I know this will never happen, but if the Strauss Group decided to leave Hyatt and Company and become the Strauss Group, the Strauss Real Estate Group, and that was her company name that she's marketing and advertising, that would become her trade name. Does that make sense? Like Hyatt and Company Real Estate.
What do you, what name do you market if you say you hide behind the LLC when you
As an investor, and you still don't need a trade name. So I'll explain. So when I buy real estate, when I buy an investment property, my LLC name is the street address of the property. So I have 5496 Oakland Road LLC. I have 130 Lodestone LLC. Now for my Airbnbs, I have two LLCs. I have the LLC that owns the Airbnb, the property title is in that 130 Lodestone LLC. Then I have a second LLC that is the Airbnb business, which is Teas, Trees, and Skis. So two LLCs. So the property management company pays to Teas, Trees, and Skis the income from the rental business. The rental business is owned by 130 Lodestone, which also owns the property. So you start to differentiate and really layers and layers and layers of separation. My personal name is not attached anywhere. So when you go and look, when you go to SDAT, because when somebody wants to see, okay, I want to research who owns this Airbnb property. This is a really nice property. I might fall. I might get hurt, right? Or I did get hurt. Maybe I legitimate, and I want to know who I'm suing. Is there any money there? You don't want them to be able to find and see that you are attached to that Airbnb property. If you're doing a flip, our flips were always in the street address. The LLC name was the street address name. So for every single property we've ever purchased, it's been owned by a separate LLC that is that property's street address name. The registered agent was never me, Jim. It's not my mom. It's not Jason, because that's attached to me personally. So it's a great question. So there's two different ways. So for your real estate business, so for this LLC you're starting today, you can be your resident agent or it can be your spouse. That doesn't matter. For your real estate business, it doesn't matter who your resident agent is because you're not hiding behind this LLC for anonymity. You can be your own resident agent for your real estate LLC. For investment properties, to answer that question, if I'm buying long-term rentals, flips, short-term whatever I'm buying for investment properties, I would use either an attorney that I'm friends with that I've asked if I can use them as my registered agent. Make sure you ask. You need their name, their address, their phone number. All a registered agent is somebody that is authorized and agrees to receive mail on behalf of the LLC or subpoenas or summons or anything on behalf of the LLC if they're unable to get it delivered to the LLC. That's all it is. It's just another mail receiver, basically. So it can be an attorney. It could be a friend that's not personally tied to your name, but there's also companies out there that you can hire and pay to be your resident agent annually. Go ahead.
So whoever the resident agent is, they can be held liable.
No, they're just a mail receiver.
An account.
And they don't even collect all your mail, just your accountant, yeah. Which is great. I think I pay $149. You,
Like it could be a family member.
For investment properties, but for your real estate.
it's you. Just make yourself, so here, so we're gonna do your real estate LLC. Go ahead.
So here,
That's okay.
So I had an LLC, I just wanna kind of go with the bank. And I had an LLC with it forfeit. The bank account is still active. So it has history. Is it still okay to, I guess?
So what did
attach
you
the LLC
use?
to an existing account?
So let me answer that, but let me get everybody moving on this real quick, and then I'll answer that for you. So you guys are gonna go up to login, you're gonna create an account. So create a user, start by creating a user account. Once you create your user account, the other thing you need to know is what you want your LLC name to be, but to answer your question, what did you, so if I'm thinking about that, my first question is, what did I use that LLC for in the past? Could there be any liability that could come back up from that LLC or credit debitors, anything like that, that could impact my new business under that LLC? If so, just leave it forfeited, leave it closed out. But to reopen it, you're probably gonna pay fines.
Yeah,
You're not reopening it. So your bank account, I would just, you'd have to talk to your banker, whether you can switch the business on the bank account to the new business name and EIN. I would just close that one. I would just close that one and open a new one. It's probably what I would do. So you're gonna create your user account. Or log in. If you already have an account, just log in. I gotta figure out which account I use for this, because I have a few. Does everybody have your LLC name? Okay, here we go. Your LLC name? Okay. And are you guys all into your account? Anybody need more time on this? Okay, okay, a couple.
Is there any, like, should we be okay using a work email? Should we use
Doesn't matter.
I love that yours is pink door, mine's teal door.
I know. I think I probably got that from you, maybe.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter, but remember this, so potentially this account, I use my personal email address because this account is what you're gonna use to open every LLC you ever open. So if you notice mine, if I go to businesses, it houses every LLC that I currently have active or have had active. Who had a question? Somebody had a question. Hunter.
Sorry, I'm just making this for the first time. The username is not gonna be your LLC.
No.
Okay.
It's just your login. Username and password are just for login. So I don't even know that it has to be an email address, but. And you can put a different email address on each LLC when you start that LLC too. So I've created different Gmail accounts. Like I have THB Real Estate Consulting at gmail.com. So that LLC goes to that Gmail account. So you can think about that if you want to. So when you're ready, under online filings, you're going to do start a new filing. And you're going to do a new business filing. And you're going to register a business. Are we all there? Start a new filing, new business filing, register a business. You're going to pick Maryland LLC, Limited Liability Company. So you're starting a Maryland Limited Liability Company, an LLC. Your company name must have LLC, L period, C period, or Limited Liability Corporation at the end of it. One of those, just do LLC, no periods.
So first is,
New business. Yes, register a business. And then once you get in there, you're gonna pick a Maryland Limited Liability Corporation, about halfway down. You're gonna use online forms. You're gonna hit save and continue. And now it's walking you through the process of starting your LLC. So here's where you're going to pick your name. Do not put LLC here. Down below that, you're gonna pick the suffix that you want to use. So you drop that down and you pick which one, how you want it to show up. I would just do comma LLC or LLC. Just keep it simple. But it'll tell you it's going to run or test your name once you put your name in here. So if I were to put in Pink Doors LLC and hit check availability, that one's available. But I'm pretty sure I have Pink Doors Real Estate. What did I say I have?
Holdings.
Pink Door Holdings, thank you. Yeah,
I'm sorry, did you say for this, you don't want words like home or real estate? I've been doing Hunter.
yeah, no, that's fine. You're fine. I don't want realty, real estate group, like anything that makes it sound like it's a brokerage, like you really shouldn't use. Home Hunter, I like it.
So real estate is okay.
Real estate's okay,
Right.
yeah.
I'll record it anytime you're ready. Love my June Monday.
So then you're gonna hit save and continue once you have your name and it tells you your name is approved. Tears. Tight straps. And then you're gonna go through your principal office address in Maryland. Just your home address. This is your home address. Your home is your business address, your office, right? Most of you, a lot of you, you can use this address. I don't care, but did you? Okay. It doesn't matter whether you use this address or your home address. Do not use a PO box. You cannot use a PO box. This is your contact information, your email address, your phone number. Yeah, and they charge you a fee. Just do the office address. We're here for the next 10 years, guys. So do the office address, then you know you don't have to change it for 10 years. Do you know your new address? Okay. Yeah, so you can change it down the road if you want to. It's up to you.
Email address, you said do what?
Whatever you want. You can do your business address, you can do a personal email address, whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Will your business need a license from the state of Maryland or local government agency? No. Your business does not need to be licensed. Who needs to be licensed to do real estate? You, the person, but not your business. Keep going. Let me see if it'll let me, yeah. The next one, it's not gonna let me keep going and it's gonna actually think I'm registering a business, which I don't wanna do. And then it sits in my account for 90 days and no business license. Your business does not need to be licensed. Yeah, an individual. So the next page is picking your resident agent. Again, you can be your own resident agent. And then you don't have to pay anybody. That like your real estate investments, when you buy a real estate property, that needs to be somebody different than you, an actual legit resident agent. This is again for separation, anonymity, privacy, all of that. You do not want to be the resident agent on the LLC for the real estate investment that you're trying to hide behind. Make sense? So you're going to pick an individual and then you should be able to put yourself in there. Yeah. Yes, for now, yeah. Any change, you can go in and change any of this. You can change resident agent, you can change the address, you can change any of that. But they will charge you like a processing fee, of course, right? Because it's the state of Maryland. So your resident agent, you're going to pick an individual unless you're using an LLC. There are, like I said, there are companies out there. So for Pennsylvania, in order for us to have a Pennsylvania address, I mean, a Pennsylvania broker license, we had to hire a resident agent company that has a physical address in Pennsylvania that we use as our brokerage address. So we have to pay for that service every year in order to have a Pennsylvania brokerage license. When my short-term rental property in Deep Creek, I wanted a resident agent with an address out there in Garrett County. There happened to be one. They've since moved to Baltimore, but it doesn't matter. They're my resident agent. So I pay a Maryland resident agent to be the resident agent on all of my properties. And I think once you pay for it once, I think you can use them on any LLCs that you open, or at least I do. At least I do. And I've not gotten, I don't know, maybe they'll call me and say, hey, what is this? If it allows you to skip it, you can skip it. Yeah. If it allows you to skip, like, contact information, put in yours. If it allows you to skip alternate, just skip it. I can't see what you guys are seeing
So,
now.
like, first, I had at least one authorized person, that's you.
You. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Change your LLC name for $100. Mine's so small.
Change the name.
My LLC, I named it, and it's just a very long name. And now that I like look at all the stuff for it, when I have to write it on things, I'm like, that's really annoying.
Mm.
I know, yeah, I have to go to the bank, have them change it.
Can't verify our office address, but it can't verify the suite 105.
I know. Yeah, I know. I had that issue on mine too. I just put it in there. I left it in there. What'd you say?
I said, put Tina's home address.
Yeah, you can put my house. I mean, you can put my house address too if you want, but on mine, I put this address and I did leave the 105. Yeah, and it didn't give me any issues with it. And it approved all of my requests. It says if they are unable to verify it, that it may delay your processing. They approved all of mine. I think because it's a new suite in this building, I think that's the issue. Let me know when you guys, if you have questions or if you get stuck somewhere. Yes, thank you. Yep, I'm gonna go over that.
Once you get to the summary. See.
Yep. And you're gonna have to certify, so you click, I certify, you're gonna have to click that you are the resident, even if you're not the resident agent, just click that you're the resident agent, because it won't let you proceed without checking all of those certifications off. Checking them and then moving on. No, you're fine.
Authorized persons,
You,
just see.
yeah, and when you put yourself in there once as as a contact, it saves it in your contacts in your Maryland Business Express account. So then every time you go to open another LLC, you'll always be in there as a contact. So you can just go to your contact drop down and pick yourself, and it'll autofill a lot of your information. If you add a resident agent that's not you, it'll save it also in your contacts, and then you can just go and pick it from your drop downs. Mm-hmm. Yes. So there's a fee to activate it. So this is my fee sheet. So $100. You do not need to do the expedited. So it may automatically check off expedited, and it shows a fee of $150. Uncheck expedited. You don't need it. I think that's Maryland's way of trying to get more money out of you. Again, Maryland.
They have the rush processing.
You don't need that. Yep, you don't need rush filing. You don't need expedited. 7 business days is fine. You guys are not in an emergency situation where you have to have your LLC in less than 7 days. Nope, nope, don't pay for that. You don't need that either. Yes. Yep, the bank does not need a certified copy. They just need the approved articles copy, and I'll show you what that looks like. You'll get an email. Hunter, yes.
Resident and file.
Yep, all three. So if I go in here to this one. No. No. Yep, no, you don't need expedited. You don't need certified copy. Just pay for the filing fee, the $100 filing fee for 7 days. So yep, I'm gonna go over that too. Yep. What you will get when they accept your application, you will get this sent to you. Well, this is your articles of organization. I think it's the resolution. You'll get an email and it has an accepted, like a stamp on it showing that it's been accepted. I don't have it. It comes, I think, through email. But all you need to take to the bank, they'll ask for your articles of organization, which is this. You get this from Maryland once they accept your LLC. And you'll get an email from them. Resolution approved. So this is the email that you'll get from Maryland. It'll come from Maryland Business Express. And it says, congratulations, the resolution for your LLC name has been accepted and approved for record by Maryland State. Filing should appear in the department's website, which is what you're in right now, within 7 to 10 business days. You can get us, you don't need a certified copy. Please click the link below to download documents ordered. So here's the link that they'll send you with the certification. I'll show you what that looks like. My acknowledgement letter. So I have to go to download. And here's your acknowledgement letter showing that it was accepted. So your resolution was accepted. And then that, you'll take that and you'll take the articles of organization and your EIN letter, which we're going to do next. We haven't done that one yet. We're going to do that one next. So when you get to the end of your filing, it should ask you, it should say it's been submitted, and there should be some options there. And one of them should be to request an employer identification number. If it's not, don't worry about it, because we can just go to search for it. Is it not there?
So you already paid and did it, can you go back and request it?
What?
And I submitted a,
That's fine. No, you're fine. You're done. Yep, that's all you had to do.
but I didn't do the whole. Yeah.
That's fine. It's separate. It's completely separate. So at the okay, so now has everybody completed it and paid? Okay, so we're all good. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, scroll to the very bottom of the page and click on business resources in the black bar. Business resources should take you to this page. You're going to see IRS EIN information. Click on that. And then scroll down and it's going to say get an EIN. You're going to click apply for an EIN. This you will get right now, immediately. Like you guys will all walk out of here today with an EIN number. Even though you don't have your approved resolution and articles of organization, which you need to go to the bank, but you'll have your EIN number. So again, begin application now. What type of legal structure? LLC. So you're going to pick you're going to pick LLC. How many members? 1. State of Maryland. You started a new business. Hit continue. Responsible party, this is you. So now it wants all of your information as the responsible party. And when you get down to your role, you are one of the owners or managing member of the LLC. Blind. Sherry, Joy, if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. I'm learning lots of good stuff here.
Good, I'm glad. You're welcome.
I just wish I could have been there in person. I had an inspection, of course, at the same
Yeah.
time.
Of course, you're good. Always works out that way. Let me know if you guys get stuck, because I can't keep going. I don't know what screens you're looking at. So this will become your tax ID number for your business. So you are going to want to save this EIN letter, create a Google folder in your Google Drive or wherever your storage, what if you use Dropbox, whatever you use, create a file for this LLC where you're going to store all of your docs, your startup documents, your EIN letter, your articles of organization, your resolution acceptance, because you're going to want to have all of that easily accessible. If you were to go to apply for a business credit card and it asks for social security or EIN for your business, you don't put your social security number for the business, you put the EIN number. It might ask you further down for your personal information, and that's where you would put your social security number. But the business, all tax identification runs through the EIN for businesses. Legal name, so that's the name of your, with the name of your LLC that you just started. And it needs to be exactly like you selected it with the comma LLC or comma L period C, whatever you pick. Yes, yeah. Yes, it is, yeah. You just gotta twist it and it'll pop open. You might need a key or something. What's that?
Can't remember if I put a comma or not.
You always do.
Well, it won't take it anyway.
It's always a comma.
Yeah.
and then-
I chose
You
one.
can.
I chose.
I like-
You have the
No,
option.
usually,
You have-
I always comma.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm just gonna-
Oh,
You have the option to have comma or.
Yeah. yeah.
Trade name, doing business as.
Ignore it. No, you guys didn't do a DBA or a trade name.
When it's asking us for our LLC name, you put in.
The end, yeah, you put in the suffix. Yeah, whatever suffix you picked, add that where it asks you for the LLC name. Because that's going to be exactly how it's going to appear when it's accepted. If you hop back over to your Maryland Business Express account, it'll show you under online filings what's pending. So, and it'll show you the name of your business that you just tried to register. It'll show it to you here and the current status. Like here's this one, approved. So it shows you the exact name of your company with what your suffix is that you chose. This entire name is what has to, see, it did start. That Pink Doors LLC. That exactly, bless you, needs to go in that name. Anywhere your LLC, your company, your business name is asked for, that's what you should be using.
So when you provide this, obviously we're gonna pick
Real estate, yep.
But when it says tell us more about your real estate, it is sell properties for other, and manage real estate for others or other.
What do? You sell properties for others. For this business, it's selling properties for others. Today. Yeah, today. Did you get stuck?
Yeah, I can't get in.
Into what?
I already have a account.
Oh. Can you start a different account with a different email address? What's under that other account? Just that one that was forfeited?
Yeah.
It's drive you nuts. I know, I have the same way. I have two. Might take a little while. Might take them. Yep. You don't have one. Just ignore that. Just leave that one. At least it's an LLC, you're not selling alcohol to but those should all be no under that.
He looks handsome in that suit.
Take out the comma. Guys, it's gonna kick back your LLC name if you include the comma. It's not gonna allow it on your EIN application. Just take out the comma, just to save you a step. No, it's the comma. It's gonna give you a red error message. Just take out the comma. And I don't know if it wants the period either. I know, but it won't allow it. For this, it won't allow it. So just do no periods, no commas in your LLC. County where LLC is located. What is the county for the address we put in your? Okay, then Baltimore City. So where it asks for county, it's asking for the county of the address you put in for your principal business address. Maryland. Yeah. Today's date, yeah, oh, change 2018, not 2018, I don't know where that came from. 2026, and those should all be no.
No, what do you mean?
I don't know.
Should we receive the EIN letter, or should we receive it digitally or by?
Digitally, just digitally, so you'll get it immediately.
$100,
What?
the filing fee.
Yeah. I know, it's gone up. Used to be a lot less than that, used to be like,
$80.
I was gonna say I thought 35 or so yeah, 40. Welcome to Maryland. And they're all no, yeah, they're all no. Yeah, I saw that, in stats for Maryland, there's a large number of first-time home buyers and Maryland residents choosing to move out of Maryland to Delaware and Pennsylvania, two states that we also happen to be licensed in. People.
I need
Yeah,
that
they
in
must
my.
make. Huh?
I need to get my Delaware. It's not far now from where I live. I just crossed that bridge and it's like
Oh,
another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So. I just got a referral that's looking in Eastern, and I'm gonna work with her there and somebody else is doing the Delaware side.
Debbie Fine has a Delaware referral. Our one Delaware agent has not accepted, to my knowledge.
Well, somebody guide me on getting my Delaware.
Oh, you doing? Yeah, well, there's the CE shop has a practice class, a prep for your Delaware exam class,
Yeah,
CE class. You just take that and you pass your Delaware exam,
all right,
real estate.
game on.
Yep, and then you sell properties for others. Continue.
Good job, whoever just took that. If you can't
Receive
take
letter
it,
digitally.
nothing.
I can't take.
Then take it and then send me a screenshot and I will send it out.
Submit.
They,
And you're done.
Send it all.
So now there's your EIN, but print, if you do print page,
I feel like saving-
there's your, if you hit, so once you hit submit and it says congratulations, scroll down, there's a blue box that says download EIN letter as a PDF. Download that, save it. It might also get emailed to you, but download your EIN letter. Because that's pretty much, I think, the only time you can get back to it. I don't know how or when you get back to it. So please don't leave that screen without downloading or saving your EIN letter. Like I said, I think it also gets emailed to you as an attachment, I believe. Save that. Uh-huh.
Coming in here, how to do it.
So that's it. Yes. So now I just want to jump back over because I want to, before I let you go, there's a couple of other things I just want to wrap up on in your packet. So in the blue packet, so we've done the filing, an operating agreement. You don't have to have an operating agreement, but you might want to create one. You really don't, like, you could go to Claude or ChatGPT and just say, create a single member LLC operating agreement for me for the state of Maryland for this LLC name. And it'll just create it for you. It's super simple. It's only needed if there's something that asks, like some company that asks you for an operating agreement. But for a single member, you really don't need one. So I'm not really worried. I wouldn't worry about that. The banks don't require an operating agreement for a single member. They just want your articles of organization that show that you're a sole proprietor LLC and your EIN letter. So you don't need it here. I've not like Truist did not require it of me, but we already got your EIN. That's done. So every year, the one thing I want to go over with you, every year, you do have to go back into Maryland Business Express. So your accountant might do this for you. My accountant does it for me. For the businesses she files my tax returns for. They will go in, or you will have to go in to Maryland Business Express and file your annual personal property tax return by April 15th. So it'll start 2027, April 15th of 2027. And you do have to pay a $300 personal property fee to keep that LLC active and in good standing every year. That $300 is paid for by your business. So it is a what? Tax deductible business expense. Good job. But you do have to file that. And again, your accountant should be filing that for you. Your annual report and your personal property tax return. She or he may need your login to your Maryland Business Express, but it's pretty easy to file your annual report yourself. She will do your personal property tax return, or he. You also have to file an annual report in Maryland Business Express. So once your businesses are approved and accepted, they'll move over and they'll show up under this businesses tab. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see this options for this business. Every year, this is what has to be filed. Annual report / personal property return. If you don't do this, your business will fall out of good standing and it will say not in good standing. And then if it goes a certain amount of time without it being filed, then it goes just forfeited, like you lose it, it's gone. So you don't want to let that happen. So if I go in and click on Hyatt and Company Real Estate, for example, and anybody, this is public. This screen right here is public record. So anybody that goes in and searches for Hyatt and Company Real Estate can see this page. So if you guys have a business entity that maybe it's a home inspection company, and you want to know if that company or a title company, if they're in good standing, you can look them up on SDAT under the businesses tab. You don't need to be logged in for this. This is public record. So on SDAT, when you go in and you search for a business name, it'll tell you principal office address, resident agent, who their resident agent is, whether the company is active, in good standing, or delinquent. domestic LLC. It'll tell you all that information. This is all public record.
Also, I just found out through experience, I feel like closed this morning, both parties, the seller and the buyer, were operating under an LLC for the sale. Both of those LLCs were not in good standing with the state, so the deal could not go.
Wow,
So if the total paper says the LLC's not in good standing.
that's good to know. Yeah.
And luckily it's instant.
Yes, it's easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's easy to do, especially, but that's insane. Those are big, at least the seller is a pretty big company with multiple properties, like a business, an operating business. That would be like me letting Hyatt and Company fall delinquent, like, what? That's crazy. And when your company falls delinquent and you have assets or loans out there, like, your debtors could call your loans due immediately because your company fell out of good standing. Like, it's no joke. People can't pay you because they can't pay you money if you're delinquent. And yeah, you can't transfer title and things like that as a delinquent LLC. Thank you for that. That's good.
We'll work it done.
April 15th, by April 5th, same as your tax deadline, your tax filing deadline. So that's just important to note and remember. Same thing, your income tax deadline, April 15th. Everything is April 15th for all your taxes. None of that changes. And your account, like I said, if you hire an accountant, they're gonna take care of all of that for you. Again, we already went over, you don't need all of that, and you guys already did all of this. So you're done. Your next step to be able to start using your LLC. As soon as you receive that email from the state of Maryland, it could take up to a week, letting you know that your articles have been approved. You're going to print that letter that they send you, along with the articles of organization that you find in Maryland Business Express. Next to when you click on that business, it's going to take you to your filed documents. Here's your filing history, and there's your articles of organization. They may already be there. They should already be there. They're just not approved yet. You need that resolution, the approved letter from state of Maryland, and your EIN letter, along with your license, driver's license, identification, form of identification. And you're going to go to the bank and you're going to open a business banking account. I would open a bank account, a checking account. And you may, depending on your credit history with that bank, they may let you open a business credit card right away. Truist, I went in and opened a brand new LLC bank account. I mean, a brand new bank account for a brand new LLC that I just registered. It has zero credit history for that LLC. Truist, I opened a bank account, a savings account, and they let me open a business credit card at the same time. Credit line? Wow. Damn. That's crazy.
All right, let's go buy my first investment property.
Right? A credit score, maybe? Your personal credit? You're personally guaranteeing it, Bobby.
I think we all have this, but we all love our points on our credit.
Yeah. Yes.
And I already travel card. Is there a way to?
So which travel card do you use?
Chase?
Is it Southwest?
No.
Oh, it's just
Chase.
South. Okay. So
Well,
Chase.
transferables out.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, so Chase, I have a personal Southwest credit card and I get all the Southwest airline points. So then we went and Jim and I opened up a Southwest business card under Chase. Those points transfer to my personal account. So I think if you go in, so if you go to Chase and you open a Chase Sapphire business credit card, it should merge and combine all those points because they're both Chase cards and Chase Sapphire.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 So that, and it's going to help. So, and think about those things. So be very, guys, I want to stress to you, and this is the mom in me talking, and not just because my son's in the classroom, be very fiscally responsible. If you open up a business credit card and they do give you like $150,000 credit line, like that's insane, right? It's very easy to get yourself in trouble. But my recommendation, I use my credit card for everything. I can't tell you the last time I've ever used a debit card. And I did use actually, I can tell you because we went to South Carolina and we went to Clemson. And for whatever reason, I pulled out my debit card by accident instead of my credit card because they're both Truist. And I used it, and like my debit card got hacked. Like, I'm not kidding. Almost immediately, my debit card got hacked. I don't even use my debit card. I used it like one time and it gets hacked.
What is floating, by the way? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I was so confused too. It's like out, it's out over the golf course. I have no idea what it is. It looks like foam. Is somebody having a foam party at the golf course? It's all the way out over the hole, over the fairway out there too. I have no idea. No. Big, huge pieces were going over.
Well, I always take something.
I don't know. So, but I will say, like, I always use my credit card because that's how I get my points, and I rack up, but I pay it off every month. Or, like, I don't pay, and I refuse to pay 20-some% interest on my credit cards. So whatever I normally would budget and use as my personal expenses for the month, I put on my business credit card. It's a lot, or my personal credit card, either one, but it's a lot safer. If you get hacked, you get your money back pretty much right away. Whereas on your debit card, if you get hacked, that cash, good luck. It takes longer if they're ever able to get it back to you. Your credit card, you can dispute, you can report it, fraud, all those things, and your money, they will put it back on your credit card almost instantly.
I had a case card a couple weeks ago, I smoked my statement.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of charges that weren't mine.
Yeah.
I disputed them, and I got the money back.
Yep.
Automatically credited.
Yep. I was lucky. Mine was a grocery store. I saw a charge come through and it says, we notice an unusual charge. Like I got a text message. This looks like an unusual charge. Are you in Pennsylvania? Right? It's in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. We were in South Carolina on college tours for Bridget. And I get this charge on my debit card at at a grocery store in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. And I no, it was like $200 and some. I called Truist. They started working on it. In the meantime, I also called the grocery store and I got the grocery store manager. This dumb special person, dumb lady, there was a woman's name on the card, ordered groceries online using my debit card for pickup and put her a name and address on there, but for pickup, like curbside pickup. So I call the manager and I'm like, yeah, that order you have out there waiting for curbside pickup, those are stolen on my stolen credit card information. He was awesome. He's like, hold on 1 second, please. He gets on, he orders them to go out and get pulled out of the thing. He said, can you send me whatever? I emailed him immediately what I got, emailed him my driver's license information and my address. And he said, thank you very much. We'll make sure that when she shows up, those groceries aren't handed over to her. So this woman thought that she was going to go and pick up groceries at the grocery store on a stolen.
That's what blew my mind, how that.
How did she even get my debit card number? Mind blown.
It's standard for also.
Wow. Insane. It's insane. I know. Criminals be criminaling. That's all I know. But okay. That's it, guys. So good job. You guys all are LLCs now. I am so excited. Because you're all going to be saving so much money every year. And it makes me happy. There's some great books out there. There's Tax-Free Wealth is a great book that you can listen to. It's audiobook or reader book, whichever you prefer. Watch podcasts. Bigger Pockets I love. Nerd Wallet I love. There's so many tips and information out there. Use AI, use Claude or ChatGPT to give you ideas and recommendations on ways to save more money. It's even things like every now and then, if you go to Home Depot and you're buying paint, well, is your home office, do you have an office at your home that you write off? Are you painting your office? Paint now becomes tax deductible, right? Things like that. Think about all those things. If you're buying furniture, if you're furnishing your home office, just keep in mind, if you get audited, you have to be able, you're gonna have to be able to prove. So you can't just go crazy and furnish a whole house and say, oh, it was all my home office. No, if it fits in that square footage of the room that you tax write off every year as your home office, great, you can write it off. But if it's a couch, did you want a couch in your home office? Maybe you did. Did you want a dining room table and chairs or a meeting room table and chairs in your home office? Maybe you did. Right? I know, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, depending on what room in your house you use as a home office. But things like that. And when you go to Home Depot, I would recommend registering for a ProX account. And then your ProX account can be, your business name can be your ProX account. And then when you do purchases, it's going to ask you if you want to put a name to the PO, to that purchase, and put your business name. So, and then Home Depot is awesome. In your Home Depot online account, you can go into your ProX account and look at all your past purchases. And if you assigned a job name to that purchase, you can pull all those job names, download all those receipts, and now you have all of those receipts for your tax purposes. But if you're paying for that stuff on your business card, even better, because then it's going to go into your business bank account, your business QuickBooks account. But if you do get audited, you can go into Home Depot. You can go in through your Amazon account, same thing, and look at past purchases and pull past purchases from your Amazon account. But you can also set up a business Amazon account under your business name as well, under your same Prime account. It's different things you can start to do to separate things a little bit more and take advantage of those tax savings. Yeah.
Is there a reason why Dennis got
Audited?
Was there a specific?
He may be able to tell you. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. He might know. It was years ago and I can't remember. Jim might know. He might remember better. I just don't remember.
For certain limits.
Yeah, but that's where your accountant comes in, because remember, there's a certain amount of charitable donations you can make every year without having to provide receipts. I think they just increased that. I think it just went up from what it was always like $600 in charitable donations. I think it went up to like 900 or something like that. But your accountant can help you with all of that, and really good accountants are really good accountants and they are worth every dime that you might pay them. I think I pay $1,500 a year each return to my accountant. So personally, I pay him $1,500. The business is a good bit more than that because there's a lot more involved there. But personally, I think I pay Brian Stitcher $1,500 a year to do my taxes. But I can 100% tell you he is saving me tenfold that $1,500. And that $1,500 is a write-off as legal and professional fees. So, you know what I mean? I'm either paying it to the IRS times 10, or I'm paying him $1,500 and reducing my taxable income by that much. So, yeah. Right behind you. Yep. Did everybody get one? Because I can print more. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I printed 10. Yeah. You don't have one? Oh, I'll print more. I will. It's just that packet really, that one just goes through everything we just did for the most part. I'll get you one, Carrie. The one that you really want, and I'll get you one of those, is the 2-page one, because that one's the one, it looks like this. I'll get you one of these, Hunter. This one's the one that kind of gives all the tips and recommendations and everything. So I'll print those for you. All right, Sherry, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Is it possible to email the packet, or can you save me
Yes.
one and I'll pick it up when I come
Yep.
up there next
I'll
time?
email it to both of you.
Okay.
Before we end. Sherry, And then I will also, I recorded this, so I will load this to my YouTube channel. And yes, so I'll email them out to you.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I might want to go back and watch it again so I can go through it when I'm at home and do it.
Yep, no problem. All right, guys, thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everybody.